You're in the shoes of a resistance fighter, Taro Takahashi, as you fight to take down a dictator in a post-apocalyptic America. All while jumping, punching, and whipping enemies in an action-style retro platformer. So, let's take a look at Steel Assault for the PC and the Nintendo Switch. Note, I played the Switch version for this review. You are Taro Takahashi, resistance soldier on a mission to take down the brutal dictator, General Magnus Pierce. On your way to take down your target, your fighter jet is shot down, so you have to fight your way through the general's robotic troops and commanders in order to reach your goal. It's pretty straightforward and par for the course with a game like this, but that's not the reason you're here. The reason you play games like this is indeed the Normally in a game like this, you'd be blasting your way through enemies with all manner of guns and bombs. But in Steel Assault, Taro is armed with an 8-way electric whip, Belmont style. And if you're close enough, a mean punch to take down foes. The whip has a decent range, and not much wind-up animation, meaning it's a pretty snappy attack, which you'll need as enemies surround you pretty quick and dive bomb you from all over the place. There is a sliding dodge, which offers invulnerability frames, but is frustratingly short-ranged, and I found it had very limited use. Maybe I just wasn't very good with it, which is entirely possible, but I feel it's worth noting. The other tool in Taro's arsenal is a zipline, which takes a small amount of getting used to, but is essential to getting around effectively and absolutely necessary against some bosses too, especially this right here. The bosses in this game are all unique, and some are very unforgiving. Learning their patterns and when to dodge, when to attack, use your zipline and such are essential to playing. You're going to die a lot in your first playthrough, but that's part of the process with these kinds of games. The game can feel brutally punishing at points. Don't be surprised if you feel the need to take a break here and there. The game does have an arcade mode, which is basically a one-life mode, so if you fall down a pit or die once, it's game over and you gotta start again, if you're into that sort of thing. The game is going for an old-school arcade look, and it smashes it out of the park. With plenty of options for different visual filters and borders, you can even unlock more options when beating the game. Sprite work is really well done, and normally I tend to turn off the filters in these sorts of games, but I found the game's design was complemented by using them really well. The only real negative on the visuals was sometimes I had trouble telling what was in the background and what could be a platform and such, but it wasn't often enough to truly impede my playing. The game's opening sets the mood for what you're in for music-wise. The sound design of the game in general does what it needs. Explosions, pops, action sounds. But honestly, this is the kind of game on replays I would just turn the music up and leave the effects off. It's that good. The soundtrack is nothing short of absolutely rocking. It gets you pumped. It's got the right amount of cheese when you need it, and I absolutely loved every moment of it. It's truly one of the best things about the game. So, at one point I had the game crash right in the middle of a boss fight, which was frustrating. But outside of that, I encountered no other issues. As a reminder, I was playing on the Switch. The PC port may not encounter this issue. Here's a little pros and cons list, just to round things out. Pro. The controls are snappy and it feels good to play once you get used to it, especially when you get used to the zipline. Con. You're going to die. A lot. I mean a lot, even in the time it takes to finish this game. Pro. Have I mentioned the amazingly rocking soundtrack? Because it has an amazingly rocking soundtrack. Con. The game is very short. Like, really short. Pro. The game has a robust options menu. Audio sliders, graphical settings, the works. Everything you could expect for a game of this type is in here, and it's done well. In one of the boss rooms, there's a map of the world, but New Zealand is missing. It's a conspiracy, I tell you! We exist! In all seriousness, why do so many world maps in fiction leave us out? It happens way too often. Anyway, I thought it was funny. If you're looking for a challenge, this game's got it in spades, with some really good action-packed set pieces. The music kicks butt and is honestly the strongest thing it has going for it, in my opinion. So, is Steel Assault the action platforming blockbuster it sets out to be? I think so, but with one major caveat. It's short. Really short. 3 hours short, in fact. I feel like I can't recommend it at full price, especially if you're the type to give it one playthrough, but if you're the kind of person that likes to replay their games and get better, and with the arcade mode challenge in there too, this could be worth your while. It does only come in at about 15 USD, or about 21 New Zealand dollars, but if you get just a little more shaved off it, I think it's worthwhile even for a single playthrough. I had fun with it, and I'm sure for anyone that thinks that after this review they'd enjoy it too, they're in for a good time. So overall, I give it a discounted thumbs up. I can definitely recommend it if you get it cheaper, but if the price is a bit much, I'd say wait. If you like the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. And I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. I'll leave a link below. Catch you later.